Hey y'all, hey. Welcome. Okay. As always, how's everybody doing? All right. Welcome to Sipping in the Sip with Sabrina. I'm Sabrina. Y'all know all day at work and stuff, I have been extremely cold, right? I mean hot. I have been hot. Since I've been home and I took a shower and stuff, I have been freezing all day. All day. I don't know what that's about. It's weird. If I may say so myself, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But anyway, we gonna get into this season of Raising Canaan. Now that's my giant. I like all of the powers. To be exact. I like all of the powers. I do. One, two, three, and four thus far. If they come out with five, I'm sure I'll like that one as well. All of the power books, I can dig them. That's for sure. So I can't say I'm complaining. But I'm really waiting on Ghost. Like, I'm trying to see what Mary J. Blige gonna be doing when she find out that her husband don't kill that song. That's what I'm waiting to see. I low key thought it was good mixed. But I think everybody else needs to catch up because I think um like what season two of Ghost already, so the next one will be three. So I guess he trying to catch up with the seasons. Awesome. I don't really know, so don't take my word for it. But today we gonna get into awesome. We're gonna get into Pilot 3, Raising Canaan, Season 2, Episode 1. Uh, oh, let me see. What happened last season? Canaan had shot his daddy, aka Detective Howard. They sent him away. Juke got into it with her dad. Remember, he snatched her up for finding out that she was gay while she was watching that little thing, the video of her and the girlfriend. Remember, the girlfriend, the white girl, Nicole, she had died. I remember the parents did wanted Juke to go to jail for her murder. All that good stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So let me see what else happened on last season. Um, oh yeah, remember Detective Howard want came to know that he his daddy and not dude that's in jail. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much why she ended up telling him to go kill him or shoot him because she didn't want him to know um that that was his daddy. She didn't want to tell. Mhm. Mhm. So now that we got our pleasantries out the way, we got a little quick little recap on what didn't happen last season. Uh, we can get into season 2, episode 1. Yeah, sure. All right. So we got. I don't know why y'all on check me business right now at this moment. What is we doing? What is this about? Why is we doing it? Okay, let's get into it. Kanan is sitting in the sand or whatever at the beach with all his clothes on. Uh and his mama Rock is walking down the beach to him. So then she walk up on him and then she kneel down on the side of him, even because he's sitting on his butt, but she kneeled down on her knees on the side of him. And man, she got on all her clothes too. And the reason why I'm telling y'all about all these clothes, because if you know, like the beach and the sand, nobody go on the beach fully clothed. Like you don't go out there with long pants on. None of these. We don't do none of these for real. Because do y'all know how hard it is to get sand up out your stuff? So that's why I keep saying like fully clothed. Like nobody play with the sand like that. For real, for real. If you know, you know. But anyway, she started telling him little stories about when she was little and how when she used to be on the beach with her brothers and them and the boys and stuff that was popular at the beach. You know, she just telling him little stories about when she was younger at the beach. And then she was like, well, it's time to go or whatever. And so they just kind of embrace a little bit. They get a little hug in. And she was letting him know how happy she was to see him. And then they walk on to the house where they staying also. Or well, Kanan was staying anyways. You got Detective Howard, Kanan dad, whom he shot back in season 1. So he is about to be discharged from the hospital after about a good 3 months, you know. And they get trying to do his discharge papers and stuff and want him to sit down, but because he is so upset because of his ring was missing that he knew he had came to the hospital with, and he was just pretty much telling the nurse like, "You can do all that what you talking about, but I ain't leaving here until we find a ring." Because she was making excuses like maybe they took it off for the day. Either way, all I know is I ain't leaving till he get his ring. Okay, and so like down the hall outside his room, the doctor is talking to his partner, Detective Brooke. Remember, old girl, he did not like that she was all in his business, trying to figure out what was what and who was who and why he was caring about all this stuff. Detective Brooke. So the doctor is explaining to her about this memory loss and how he can't even remember what happened the day of the shooting. Um, so in other words, she pretty much thinking like, oh, he gotta be faking. And so the doctor was like, all I know is this man came in here with a hole in his chest from a gun and cancer in his blood, you know. And pretty much around here we is saying that this is a miracle that he even is up and running. And then she just was like, yeah, I know, because what she tell him? They wouldn't have found the bone marrow at the other precinct from one of the other police officers or detectives at another precinct had this had not went down or whatever. So while they finishing up that conversation, Howard is coming up the hall. The nurse is pushing him up in his wheelchair. And so when they meet up, they go around the corner, him and his partner and the nurse that's pushing him. They hit around a corner and you got two sides. I want to say it's probably about a good, maybe a good 40 people. And so I would say you probably got on this side of the hall, you got 20 police officers. And on this side of the hall, you got like 20 doctors and nurses and all that good stuff. You got medical and then you got legal, like opposite sides of the wall, but going straight all the way to the door, the entire hallway. So I said about a good 40 people. So when they get down the hall, they just all start clapping or whatever. So, you got 40 people clapping at one time, law enforcement, medical, all just applying that he is leaving the hospital, like, because like the doctor said, this is a miracle, because like really he really didn't have to be here at this moment in time. So then you got Kanan packing up, and while he packing up, it's two other dudes, two little babies, two little boys, probably about maybe 8 and 10, or maybe 12 and 10, somewhere in there. And they playing video games while he is packing up his clothes. And they is kind of like questioning him, like, is this better or is New York better? And they going back and forth with the questionnaire, whatever. And then Kanan kind of ended the questionnaire between the two boys that they was questioning Kanan, but at the same time, them two was having their own little debate or whatever. So the older boy like, yeah, because when I get older, I don't care. I'm going to New York. I'm going wherever I want to go. And the little boy like, well, mama ain't gonna be letting you go nowhere. He like, she ain't gonna have no choice. You know what I'm saying? And Kanan just was like, he just turned around and looked at them and was like, if this was my choice, I would stay here with y'all and I'd beat y'all at that. And he talking about because they playing video games, like, and he had even learned how to tear y'all up in video games. So, and while they still talking or whatever, they is Rock and her friend girl that she sent came to stay with. They in the kitchen. Well, first Rock walked past like the boys and them first going to the kitchen to her, and so they in there and they get in there and she like telling her thank you and all this, that, and the third. And she was like, I could have just enrolled him in high school or whatever. Um, because you did say, what she say? Like it was like a dangerous situation going on or whatever. So it wouldn't have been nothing. He could stay as long as he needs to. And Rock like, oh, he good. He come back now. It was just some little knuckleheads. You know how it is. So it's her childhood friend. So she like, you remember how the boys be out, too many people on the streets, all at the same time. And so then by this time, Kanan is walking up, and old girl and Kanan kind of go back and forth with how she enjoyed and loved having him there, whatever. And he just like how he enjoyed being there himself. And she was like, Jukebox 2 tell her that we missed her or whatever and all that good stuff. And to make sure that both of y'all come back anytime, pretty much. They did they little pleasantries and kept it on pushing. You did. All right. Now you got Lou and Jess. All right, Lou is the little brother and Rock's little brother, and came out little uncle, little big uncle, and then Jess is the girlfriend, famous. She supposed to be his manager. The little dude that think he know how to really rap. him. So it's Lou and Jess, and they pretty much having a deep discussion outside about music and about, you know, famous career, what have you, and she explaining how she had to fight for her brother because she his manager, and that he didn't do enough promotion for famous is why he didn't blow up, and he like famous album and he like famous album, you know, it pretty much had spoke for itself. And pretty much what they were saying about his album is fuck famous hell. That's how he took it anyway. And he was pretty much just like, is you gonna, can you take a break? You know what I'm saying? And be my girl, and you know, all that good stuff that supposed to go on with that. Because pretty much he pretty much just telling him that famous don't do nothing but get high all day and every day now. He ain't trying to put nothing down on no paper. He ain't been trying to get in no studio. He ain't been doing pretty much, he ain't showing no work ethic. Like this something he won't. You know what I'm saying? And she pretty much was trying to tell him that she can end up doing both, you know, being his girl and, you know, being a manager to her brother, and that she's trying to make him feel like, well, famous only smoking and stuff like that is because he think you don't care about his career. And he was like, I don't. uh it's your job to care about his career and all that good stuff. Maybe you can go take care of him because you truly ain't taking care of me. And you know what I'm saying? So then he walking to his car, honey, crank that bed baby up and pull the fuck out. You hear me? So now he pull up at this red light, right? And it's a chick on the side of him that's banging a little tune or two. You know what I'm saying? She got a little cut going. And he is trying to get her attention or whatever while they at the red light, but the music blasting, so she really don't hear him or hear his horn blowing or whatever. And so since he couldn't get her attention, the light turned green. So he was gonna go the other direction. But so what he did was he ended up following her. Then he took her down the road, but then he cut her off. And he was just like stopping her. And she was like, what? No, 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 wait. He was like, calm down, it ain't that. What he asked her, who on that song? And she was like, me. And he was like, oh, so you doing songs over over my beat, over my tracks. And she was like, well, sue me then. And he just like, no, I'd rather sing. And he ended up giving her his business card or whatever, telling him who he was and all that good stuff. And she was like, can I go now? You know, so she kind of really I know she kind of got spooked because I mean, any normal person would have got spooked. Like, why are you cutting me off and all? What is going on? I don't even know you. Like, mm-mm. So she was a little spooked, but I think she felt a little better after that. Um, Jukebox is at Nicole grave, and she put a tape on her grave, you know, and she was just staring at it for a little minute. And the tape was titled "It Hurt Some," and so then she just like let out a tear too, and ended up just walking off. Um, Kanan and Rock, they driving home, and she's pretty much explaining to her like Detective Howard is finna get out the hospital, and he don't remember, you know, the day of the shooting. And so Kanan, like, he kind of like in panic, nervous mode, like, wait, well, no, because if he see me, you know, that might jog his memory, anything, and all this, then, you know, he just kind of ranting and freaking out at the same time. And And she like, well, that's why I brought you back, because everything good. Like, he don't remember. And even if he did remember something now, like, when nobody believe him because it's been so long. And she just pretty much like, you don't have to worry, I'm gonna protect you. Like, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. So pretty much I got you, my mom Dukes. I got you, doc. Now you got Marvin, he meeting up with his lawyer. And the lawyer pretty much just like, Tony done left the building. Tony was the girl who was snitching in season 1, that was in the police station when they picked him up in season 1. She the one who, the white girl that was supposed to been snitching, but she done some way somehow disappeared. And then the lawyer was like, so they don't got no case, so they don't have nothing on it. And he just was like, but they are suggesting 100 hours of like community service or court mandated classes on like substance abuse and shit like that, or he can go to anger management. And he like, if they ain't got no case, so what the hell they still trying to charge me with? And he was like, oh, they still charging you with their possession of marijuana. And so he spazzed a little bit, like, man, it should be allowed it's allowed to be against the law to arrest somebody for some marijuana. And then he told him if he went to the substance abuse, he probably can get it to where he just signed his name in or whatever. And he was like, nah, you can sign me up for anger management, and I'm gonna show them how to manage anger. How about that? Let them see how that roll with them. And so that was like they little one hit to quit a little meeting between Marvin and the lawyer. Now, Detective Howard partner has got him to the crib, safe and sound. And so all his mail is like behind the door. So when he go to open the door, it's like he don't barely want to open because of all the bills and stuff. And he actually said like, oh yeah, I know I'm home now. 3 months of bills and mail. He talking a little junk to his own self because, honey, it's his own house. He stay by himself. So I don't know what he thinking we're gonna be happening. Like, where else did you think your stuff was gonna be? So then it's a little dark in there, and so the partner like, well, let me get some lights. And so she went to go over to a blind to open up some blinds, and then when she opened the blinds and she turned around, it was a case folder on the desk that she had peeped. And so when she saw that, she came from around the corner and she was like, you want to go get something to eat? And he was like, nah, he had to clean up and just kind of get used to his new life or whatever. And so she started questioning him pretty much about that shooting and all that good stuff, because I don't believe she remember. I don't believe she believed that he don't remember. Okay. I believe that. And because she kind of mad that he not trying to remember who the shooter is and all that good stuff, because they said they only had one person of interest and he was finna get out of jail. So like she mad because like, why you not trying to figure this out? Because she trying to, but she like, okay, you right, this, that, and the third, and she just gone on and leave or whatever. So he decides, soon as she go out the door, he obviously rushed on the other side of the room to look at her through the blinds, to making sure she get in her car and actually leave the premises or whatever. So Keenan and Rock is back in New York from their drive, and she ends up taking Kanan to her newfound work in this building in the hood. And she pretty much just tell him that she the only crew in town right now. And she ended up like as they walking up, showing him like how all the security was on the roofs and all that good stuff. And then they go inside and they get ready to take the elevator. Now, mind you, it's about 15 people trying to wait for the elevator. She walk up and only her and Kanan get on the elevator, and he like, why nobody didn't ride up with us? And she was like, ask them. What else? And he also was saying like he hungry hell, and she was like, well, we gonna get some as soon as we leave out of here. And that's when he started realizing that she done took over the whole entire floor, and that this entire building is hers, because now he see how it's available that they can make drops all the way down to the basement of this giant. And he had peeped also like it's kind of secretive, and this is why ain't no police around, because it's kind of like the police feel like, I guess, people stop smoking crack or whatever. And they ain't gonna be coming around too much, you know what I'm saying? Hello? Okay, dog. Oh, so it pretty much they got it where like the cops thinking that it ain't nothing going on around here, because everything is going on inside the actual building. Like nobody have to be outside on no corner, you know what I'm saying? And so then they go into the actual apartment where they at, where the main everything is going on, and it's the crew and his uncle Marvin. And they chop it up a little bit, you know, and they all talk they shits and giggles and all that good stuff back and forth. So now you got Unique, he getting ready to be released from jail due to no evidence that he ended up shooting Detective Howard. And Jukebox is going through the closet getting her some clothes out, and then she get a box, and it just so happened to have some old pictures in it. And I want to say it's a picture of her and her mom when she was a little baby. So she just staring at that. Then you got Keenan, Rock, Marvin, and the crew. They at the spot, and they politicking a little bit. They are going over grievances and solutions to the grievances. And then Lou come through late as always. And he get into the politics a little bit, and then he just like, I'm gonna go chop it up with my nephew. So he took a little moment with Kane, and Jukebox is in the room laying across the bed, you know, with her pen and paper, chilling, doing what it's up. And Kanan ended up walking up, and he like, I hear you looking for a backup singer. And she was like, I hear it for the cut. She cut him real quick. You ain't finna put me to sleep with that thing you be doing. They handshake, and you know, they hug and chop it up a little bit about his whole stay in Virginia or whatever. Detective Howard is cleaning up his spot, and he walked past with a bag, and he happened to look, and he saw that same case folder that his partner ended up seeing. And even though he walked past it, like he came back, and then he started he opened it, and it was a case on Kanan. And a look came across his face. And it kind of just put me in the mood of his memory ain't gone. Okay, like because so the photo was sitting there. So when you open it, it's a picture of Kane. Like that's the first thing before like you see anything else. It's his picture, and then you know the file and stuff is behind the picture. And so the look on his face say, you know who the hell shot you, and you just want these people to think we don't know you know who shot you. But you know, you learn about this memory thing. Because if you saw the facial expression, you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, Rock at the crib cooking or what happened. Kanan, Marvin, and Lou, they in the living room watching, and they watching TV, but Lou and them is also playing chess. Okay. And then they talk shit to one another. So Juke, he ended up coming down the stairs. And so her daddy, he spoke to her. She spoke back. And she instantly went into the kitchen with her auntie, Rah, and was telling her how the food smelled, how good, everything. And so Marvin kind of walked up to her and he like, well, I haven't seen you in like 3 months. And she ended up telling him, well, I saw you about 3 weeks back, you know what I'm saying, at grandma cookout. And then he was asking her, like, well, can we talk sometime, you know? And he was getting ready to try to explain or whatever. But she was like, we don't have nothing to talk about. And then he was getting ready to try to explain again, but Rock kind of cut it off and was like, dinner ready, everybody. And so then they all sit down at the table, and Rock ended up giving a speech about family. Like, despite of, in spite of, like, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? It's always family, is pretty much what the speech was pretty much going on. And then she also, in the end of that, did a toast to family. You got Famous and Jess, and they talking management and how she feel like she ain't doing too much or nothing. And so she ended up listing all the accomplishments, telling him the fact that he always smoking. And so they going back and forth for a little minute, and then it ended with a fuck you and a fuck you too and a walk off and all that good stuff. And I'm just like, I guess you could say I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I ain't running from it. You know. You know what they say. All press ain't good press. You know. But hey, it is what it is. Will be. So you got Kanan, Jukebox, and Marvin. They sitting in the living room. And Marvin is trying to make small talk with Juke about school. And he like, so what classes you taking for school? And she was like, class gonna start, no time soon. And he like, so what about when you do go? Like, what you gonna take? And she just quit with it and telling everybody, all right, goodbye. All right, man, it was good. Later, auntie. Our lady, she just literally just like walk out. That's what happened. She just walked out in the midst of him trying to talk, because I feel her though, because you don't put your hand all around my neck, you done spazzed on me, all because you worried about what my sexual preference is and not the fact that I'm your daughter. So that was the problem, and you didn't care to know how I felt or none of that. So fuck you now. And so Kanan kind of like teasing him, and he was like, uh, look like y'all connected, and and you know Marvin, man, fuck you, nigga, fuck you. So Rock and Lou, they in there cleaning up and washing up the dishes and everything. And Lou started explaining, because you know he been being late every day due to the fact that he got the record label now. And he just was like, I know I've been fucking up. I'm gonna do better. And so they go in like the politics of that, and like, okay, how much money you making? And okay, well, you understand that you slipping on family money for no money. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they did it. But he was, he like, I'm gonna be doing better. So they just chop it up for the last little minute. Now Juke is outside smoking on the square, and Kanan like, what you doing smoking cigs? And so she kind of explained, like, after you left, and he was like, yeah, nobody never said what happened when I was getting ready to leave. Like, what happened? And she just like, man, whatever happened, it done happened now. But pretty much it's like, yeah, I'm smoking cigarettes. And they pretty much ended up chopping up about the issues and problems, they thought process of things and things that has happened in their lives and stuff like that. And so then you got Famous walk up, and when Famous walk up, we kind of realizes that Detective Howard in the cut in his car sneaking a peek. And so once Famous walk up all the way good or whatever bar, he decides to pull off and pull on, do a little driving slow past Kane and them, but looking straight at the same time, like not to say that I'm watching, you know what I mean? But Kanan peeped them. Kanan peeped him while they over there talking. Kanan eyes is to follow him all the way down the road. Like, yeah, that's who I thought it was. This is exactly who I'm thinking it is. But he ain't say nothing. He just kept it up a study. So you got Lou Marvin and Rock. They having dessert and they is talking politics, they next moves, expansions, the whys, the hows, and the who's, why they having a little dessert. They sitting up chopping that up. Then you got Scrap. Scrap is Rock right hand man. He got his eye poked out, when they had took him and left him on her doorstep. That's Scrap. Okay, so and back at the house when she had first got back to New York, he was in there and she was telling him then when they was politicking, she told him like you need to stay out of that card game with your mama and all that good stuff. She had just told him that. And so at this point, he is at his mama basement at the gambling. After Rock done told him that he needed to stop, next thing you know, the whole junk get busted. And that was off the Chiz name for no reason. And then you got you walked up here, take a hoodie. You walked up here, take a hoodie, my tank. Stank, I'm in here doing a video. Don't try to find the camera. I'm telling you what I'm doing. You don't care nothing about it. You smell so good. With your mama got you smelling good.
He was still hitting with feet up the stairs.
Oh, that was him. That was him making that noise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he liked them stairs. I don't know why though, but he liked them stairs. Yes, him do.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Say see you later, Mom. He ain't can. He just smiling for you. He was glad to be gone.
Good night. I'm going to get him again.
All right. Good night. I love you. Be careful.
All right. All right.
So after Detective Howard done rolled past Kane and them now. He done went to visit. Give me my paper. Stop. You finna come in here and mess up everything. He went to visit the precinct. And as he's chopping it up with the officers that's at the door when he first walked in, you know what I'm saying? They talking and they was like, yeah, we talked to a CI, And he so happened to look over in the interrogation room, and there you see Scrap standing over there in the interrogation room. So they, do they last little woo-ha's and happy to see him and he go and talk to his partner. And actually she was doing homicides work by trying to figure out who shot him and all that good stuff. And he was just trying to tell her, like, I don't want you messing up nothing. Which is like I said, he kind of he know who shot him because she telling him about how dude finna get out and they ain't found nobody else and da 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 once again. And he already knowing like, just don't mess nothing up. Do what you gotta do, all that good stuff. So it wasn't like it was like no beef or nothing like that. So then you got Unique who is in jail. Unique is in jail for the shooting of Howard because remember Kanan wore his jacket when he went to go shoot Howard. Right? So Unique is walking down the hall and it was already a couple dudes beating up on the dude. So somebody in as he walking down, somebody ended up bumping into him. And then he just like, watch where you going, partner, and all that. And he's gonna keep on walking, but Buddy trying to jump hard and all that stuff. So he ended up whooping him, two more other ones, and then they coming to take him. And I'm like, but he ain't even started it. You know what I'm saying? So they came and got him, whatever. Where you going? I don't trust it. Where you trying to go? Where you trying to go? Where you trying to go? You trying to go get on them stairs? That ain't happening. Now you got Kanan and Rock. They at the diner and she is thanking Symphony. Let me do this right here, buddy. All right. Now, you want to get down? Now, if you want to get down, you can. I just didn't trust you. I ain't got time to be trying to chase after you, buddy. Alright. So you got Kanan and Rock and they at the diner and they trying to thank Symphony for getting him down to Virginia just fine. Yeah, no, her job. And Symphony is I think he a lawyer that was talking to Rock, the light skinned dude. Yeah, the lawyer dude that was talking to Rock. That's who Symphony is. Then you got Marvin. Not Marvin. You got Lou. Just stop. Why you do this? Why you knocking that stuff down? You got nothing better to do, handsome. All right, you got Lou, Jess, and Famous. They in the studio and they chopping it up. And they chopping it up about how Famous ain't trying to do nothing to be in the studio and all that good stuff. And so Lou really ain't caring nothing about it. So then he was like, let me introduce y'all to my new money maker, Ziza. And she the one that he saw in the at the red light. Ziza. That's who Ziza is. And he introduced him to them and then he take her over to the studio. And you got Symphony and Rock, they chopping it up outside the diner while Kanan is in the bathroom. And pretty much he was just trying to talk about the good well-being of Kanan, and without telling him what Kanan really was saying or whatever, he just was like, he was scared. He ain't trying to do this stuff. Like, the dude that you don't know, this my son's, she taken up once again when he tried to interfere and tell her something about Kanan. She didn't listen, and she like, and he just was saying, I know because I was the one in the car that he rode with, and I know how he had felt and stuff because I heard what he said, and he didn't tell me what really happened, but I know he was scared. And so while they ending up that conversation, Kanan walk up, and then He ready to go. So they say they last little woo-hoos and goodbyes or whatever. Chop it up, give a little hug, and that's that. Marvin done showed up for his anger management. He showed up for his anger management and literally thought he was gonna sign in and leave, but baby, the counselor checked him so quick and told him to sit his ass down. All at the same time. It was so love. Like, I need to call my lawyer. Yeah, you can. But for right now, sit your ass down. That's exactly what she did. Like, with no problems. Ah. You got Lou and Ziza, the new artists. They in the studio laying down some track. Juke come in, she rocking with it, but she feel away because like how my uncle keep on putting all these people in the studio and I ain't in the studio yet. Then you got what is his name? Is his name Crown or Figaro? Crown and Jess. They are fucking. Crown is the one who is partners with Lou. Remember, he ain't had no money first season. He ain't had no money for the studio, and they was in there busting them down for their money, and he was just like, bye, and laid that money down. And then, that's how he became the owner of the studio because Buddy didn't have no fun. So now they fucking, and then when they get through this bottom line ass nigga talking about some what you think Lou would do if he found out. And she just was like, he'll kill your ass. Like, nah, he need me. You know what I'm saying? He need me to run the studio, whoop whoop. And she was like, oh, he catches on fast. Like, she trying to warn him, like, he catch on fast. He'll be to know how to do all this stuff and you'll be laid out. But then he ended up trying to offer her a job in Cali or whatever. So they get off into that little bit of her getting that job in Cali. And then we ain't got that much to go, a couple of more minutes. Okay, and then we got Kanan in his room chilling. Rock bring him a glass of milk. And she talked to him and she was like, no, tell me what you thinking. What's going on? Like, I used to can know you, what you thinking, all this stuff. You can't get old on me, like what you thinking. So they chopping about what he thinking, and he was like, he don't want to disappoint her, that him shooting on that cop and all this and the third. It's just kind of a lot. Can you stop? Can you stop acting? It's the fakeness for me. That's all I'm saying. And so they just like kind of chopped that up as like, and she just was like, okay, and she's sorry, and she said the thing of it is that you shouldn't have to protect your mama because I should have been protecting you. And so she apologized because she like, all this stuff I've been doing, it was for you, but I never would have thought I was putting you in harm's way or making you feel uncomfortable in such a way. So she'll apologize for that. Unique got out of jail and Marvin was outside like looking at him getting out of jail and stuff. And then you got Rock at the park pacing back and forth smoking a cigarette. And then none other than Detective Howard walks up, and that's gonna be the end of Raising Kanan season 2, episode 2. So y'all sip on that and make it make sense. And I'm gonna get back with y'all soon with episode 2. Deuce.